Okay, ERDAS Photogrammetry or Imagine Photogrammetry. This is about part 4, setting up orthos and importing them into ArcGIS if I get time. Okay, we have our images set up, we have our internal and external orientation set up, and now we want to make ortho images of these. So we use this tool, which is the resampling process icon. We have a series of defaults. We'll name our output files with a prefix. In this case, this is set up for the first file in the sequence. We have output cell sizes. In this case, we have 2 meter cells, so we can probably accept that. We can set that up to a DEM. Oh, and I've got a phone call, so I'll just pause it there. Okay, now where were we? We wanted to look for a DEM. Okay, so we'll set the DEM as the DEM for Inverell, which, if I remember correctly, actually I might just use it from its base location. DSMs Inverell. Where have I put Inverell? There we go. And it's a IMG file, I think, from memory. That's the beastie. Okay, so we've now got our DEM linked, output cell sizes, our X and Y's. We need to add all the images. We'll set our output prefixes as ortho. Already exists. Okay, we'll just accept those defaults. And now we've got the 3 images loaded, and we don't need to do any rescaling. Advanced, we'll use bilinear. We can use bilinear. We've got GRS80, GDA94. We might just make sure that that's actually going to come out in 56. Okay, and hopefully that's all we need to worry about. And now we've got orthos, which are there. Okay, you'll notice that it's not finding these ones, so we'll click once in there. We're looking for ERDAS data Inverell. See data, ERDAS data, yes. And we're looking for the IMG files, so it's not finding. I've got to change this to all formats. And we're looking for ortho Inverell, they're probably alphabetical. Ortho Inverell, we're looking for 116. Oh, where's it gone? Okay, now we've found them, they're all there. This is playing silly buggers. I'll just go through that again with you. No. Oh, hang on. We've gone to our folder where these things are, and because this is defaulting to the wrong file format, I just have to pull up all of the file formats, then find ortho Inverell. So we're looking for 117 in this instance. There's 115, 116 and 117, output images, click OK, and then it finds it. So they're all online. So we'll just save that, and okay, so let's hope that that's not too clear as mud for you. You probably realise that it's a little while since I've gone through this process, but anyway, I hope if you have any questions that you can follow them up with somebody in the unit, if not myself. Okay, so now we've got that information saved, we've got our ortho set up, we've got our images set up, there's our DSM in the background, okay, and there's our base images. So what I'll do is I'll exit, I'll minimize this, and then I'll pull an instance of ArcGIS into the window, and I'll show you how to enter that data into ArcGIS in Stereo Analyst. Okay, this is a blank instance of ArcGIS 10.1. Now, the first thing that we have to do to be able to access that LPS job in ArcGIS is to make sure that your Stereo Analyst license is available. So first things first, we'll make sure our extension is turned on. So Stereo Analyst is on. Okay. Stereo Analyst, import project, and I've got another phone call, so I'll pause it there. Right, now back to where we were. Stereo Analyst, import project. We select where our project file is, and I think I saved it under C data, didn't I? C data LPS test block, there it is. So I'll open that up. It will show that there are 3 images in the project. It will show that everything is green, which is nice. Next. Next. Gives us our projection information, coordinate systems, tells us what it's going to pull into the system, and we click on finish. Okay, it's now pulled those photos into Arc. We should be able to see them in the Arc window, so it must still be working. Let's just make sure. Okay, decided to push them off to a side. Okay. And for some reason it's decided not to display the layers. Maybe I have it set to not display the content. ArcMap display. No, it should be there. Okay, why is it playing silly buggers for us? Anyway, let's open the stereo window and see what we have. There we have our anaglyph image. We'll stick our little hand cursor up. I'll have a look at this in anaglyph mode. That looks like it's not too bad. We'll just adjust our Z wheel so that we bring our images together a bit. And that's quite a nice little anaglyph image for me. I'll just zoom in. And yes, I'm getting a nice 3D image, so that seems to be working quite happily. It would be very interesting to know, however, why our footprints are not showing up as they should be. Those should be populated with an image, which is what usually happens in these jobs. So for some reason it's decided to play silly buggers. Just to illustrate that point, we'll create a new data frame, and in that new data frame we'll import one that I prepared earlier. Let's go to C data, and I think we're under, what are we in? We're under ADS, I think, from memory. Okay, use this fellow, open him up. And I think from memory this one may be a section of ADS imagery, which works in the same way as the LPS jobs anyway. Now this hasn't got statistics generated, but that's fine, the rest of the images are there and in place. This computer is doing several jobs at once at the moment, so and ArcGIS has already crashed on me once, so it may be something to do with the vagaries of ArcGIS and what the computer's doing that those footprint areas weren't populated. But hopefully this will behave itself and you'll see a finished product akin to what you will see when you do the job yourself. I might just pause this while it's creating layers, just so that you don't have to wait through it. Okay, we're now adding our layers to the map, and this is the section that I cut out. This is a cutout from some ERDAS Photogrammetry, but the block file process is similar. And if I open the stereo window, we'll see the image in glorious 3D in anaglyph mode. That's inverted, so we'll turn it around the other way, and there it is in 3D. Okay, so we'll just close that stereo window down, and we can zoom out a tad. In fact, we'll go back to our other data set. It's still deciding it's not going to help us out. Anyway, can't be helped. So that's basically the process to import a block file into Stereo Analyst. Using an ADS dataset like that second one was, you can actually pull the support files, the .sup files, straight in, but the block file is necessary when you're doing the photo preparation, as in this particular dataset. Okay, so that concludes our tutorial on Imagine Photogrammetry, ERDAS Photogrammetry, and the use of Stereo Analyst to open those data files. I have had a couple of little system crashes here, so let's hope that if you run through the process you don't have those issues with it not showing up the images as you import it into ArcGIS. Okay, thanks for listening.